Can anyone? All right. I just moved into my new place. Right now I'm just getting ready to stream. So let me see if this works. Okay. Can you guys hear me right? Can you guys hear me properly? I need to open Restream. Alright, hold on. Let me just open up my Restream chat box because I use that to see both YouTube and Twitch followers. So, alright, let's get this. There we go. Everything's set. Okay, cool. Alright, so just to help everyone catch up, I'm actually working on this trailer. So yeah, let me just open the. So I've been like adding a bunch of stuff to the project I've been working on. So I'll give you the context. It's during a sequence where she's transforming. And then the two characters are going to float up in the sky. And in the scene I'm trying to animate is this one where they're rising to the clouds. So basically, I'm going to be animating the boy and the dragon separately. Also, just letting you know, I have a friend who's gonna come over and sit by, and he'll probably help answer some questions. He's also in the industry, so yeah. Anyways, let's get started on animating. So what I have done so far is the very rough version of the boy, and right now I'm just drawing the keys for the dragon that's levitating. Okay, so I actually just finished drawing the positions of the dragon. Sorry, I'm not really talking properly. I was actually sick 2 days ago, so I was out the whole day, the whole night. So here, let me give you a breakdown. So the dragon's actually going to keep flapping on this one, and it's just a normal flap, but it's not just any loop. It's going to be like different cycles of loops. So I mean, it's going to flap like this to this pose to this different pose then to this different pose. Yeah. So right now I'm just animating or drawing different poses of the ups and downs. So it just gives it more variety. Right now I'm just implementing the wings. Okay. So yeah, as you can see, I'm still flipping, still doing that flip. And then because this torso's turned a bit that way, I'm gonna make the wings a bit more out there, you know? I'm starting to sound like my former animation teacher. He keeps saying, you know. And I remember back at school, I used to always do do a bit of shots where if he said, I take a shot in class and kind of get drunk. But those were the times. Okay. All right. So I think 3 cycles is enough. All right. Hold on. I heard it better. I'm just reading some of the statements on the chat. Hey Patrick, how's it going? Sorry I didn't say hi earlier. I was kind of like getting this thing prepped up. Okay. So, yeah, I think 3 cycles is enough. Alright, so I'm just going to spread this around and start flipping them around. I think they're going to be in 12s, I think. Let's see how that goes. Honestly, I have absolutely no idea how I'm going to do this, but what the hey, I'm just going to work with it. 25, okay. So yeah, up. Yo, that's not right. Okay, I'll put that. I'll figure what to do with that pose later. This pose goes at the end. So see, I'm just like making it flap already, but I'm trying to make it not look too, No, not 36, 37. Okay. Okay, this is almost it actually. So 32, 37, 49. My math skills are failing me right now, guys. 61. So, and then it's gonna loop. This is gonna loop. I won't need this. I'll hide that. Alright, so yeah, if I flip all through this, now I can just have it flap. So if I were just to test that scene alone, honestly, I think it might be a bit too slow, but we'll see. I'm gonna do my breakdowns first, and then see if I need to speed it up. I do think it is going a bit too fast. Okay. Put in a bit of overtime today. Thought I'd pop on your stream. Oh, so yeah, you're working at Powerhouse right now. You see in the office. Say hi to Sam and Spencer for me. I kind of miss those guys. Me and Spencer, we always every time we talk about Sakuga animation, we always go, "Hey, have you seen any new Sakuga animation?" Sakuga, like we just mispronounce that word. Sakuga. Hey Spencer. How's that Sakuga treating you? Yeah. Sakuga. Yeah, no, there's a lot of people here. No, here in California, people love Sakuga. Like they're all like, "Oh, Sakuga! Oh my God, Sakuga!" And if for those who don't know, Sakuga is basically it's anime. It's the money shots found in anime. Like where the animation gets really good, that's the money shot. I think I would have worded it properly, but yeah, it's where the animation gets really crazy. It gets pretty radical. Um, so yeah, that's what Sakuga is. But there's a huge fan base of people who like Sakuga here, or especially on Twitter. Like, there's a lot of people who really love Sakuga stuff. And it's always fun to go like, oh yeah, Sakuga. Do you have like, I remember when I worked on the stuff for Studio Le Couché, I noticed some of my work was posted on some Sakuga Boru, that website. And every time I saw someone share some of my pencil tests, they would go, look at Taniko's Genga. I'm like, they're just roughs. But I know what they mean, you know? Okay. It's tricky, because I could just straight ahead this flap, sort of. You know what? I'm going to add a bit of a down pose, yeah. And then this head is going to go a bit down. Oh yeah, I think my Twitch is just string bing, Genus. Oh, I forgot to see. I didn't see some of the previous questions. So you can. Yeah. Do you attribute your skills to your schooling, or do you feel you get better? You get better over time. That's totally. It's kind of like any other art form or anything you practice. You just keep doing it until you kind of get a momentum going. I noticed while you use a lot of charts, you still flip your drawings as opposed to Onion. Well, because, so Patrick, so basically I have a really bad habit of tracing. Like, when I turn on the Onion skin, it's just easy for me to trace, and when I flip, it just forces me to, really pay attention to some of the stuff that you can't really, like, it just forces me to see. I mean, some people can argue this can be a bad habit, but for me, it's actually making my animation better than if I were just to rely on the Onion skin. Oh yeah, King Cabbage. I actually use a JavaScript. So basically, you can actually search it online. I forgot what I searched, but I'll try and upload a modified version of that script, because the original script actually selects everything in that frame, and someone helped me change the JavaScript so it would just flip between the frames without having to select the whole drawing. So here, let me see. It's under command. See, I kind of modified it so it doesn't select everything, but I'll probably post it online because a lot of people have been asking me about that. You can download the original script somewhere on like the Adobe website, because someone did ask about it too, and I got that from there, and then someone said, hey, do this to the JavaScript and it'll fix it. Okay. So, Patrick, you and Spencer, how's that Sakuga? How's Sakuga treating you? All right. Let me see. Okay. Oh, the break. Oh, so for Sui One Kune, I'm sorry. There's a lot of stuff that I kind of did not see or read. So there's a lot of catching up I need to do. Okay. Do you ever... So Grantley asks, do you ever think about critiquing other people's stuff? I did, but at the same time, I mean, I might do it. I'm thinking about it. That really depends if there'll be people who will submit stuff too. Don't know if they want to hear what I have to say. Ah, shit. You know what I should have done? I should have thumbnailed how I would flap these wings, but I'm gonna sort that out later. I'm just gonna place placeholders for now. And I think this head might be moving a bit too much, you know? I think somewhere a bit more controlled. Okay. Patch Tunes, do you have any tips or advice for young animators? Just keep making stuff. I mean, I know it's pretty vague, but I think you just have to keep going. You just have to keep working with what you have, but also think about what the goal is. Like if you're trying to nail down acting, make sure that animation tests nail acting down. If you're trying to get action done, go all out. I think anything you do, have a specific purpose. What do you think about the new way of animating in 2D using bone rigging like Moho Pro or Toon Boom? So Anime Studio Animation asks, what do I think of the new way of 2D using bones? Honestly, I think it's pretty cool. You know, I need to teach myself how to make really badass rigs that look 2D, because I've seen the stuff Mercury Filmworks has been doing with their rigs, and it looks very competent. Like, it looks pretty good, and I think it's pretty economic. I mean, I think it's great. I need to give it a shot making a rig. Oh man. Yeah, I want to visit Texas. I'm doing internship somewhere. Is it a good tablet or? The 13 HD is pretty good. I've used an 13 HD. Actually, I forgot to tell you guys, I actually bought myself a Mobile Cintiq Studio Pro. It's a 13 HD. And the reason why I got it is because I've been freelancing for a while, and I actually get cabin fever. So I needed to get something that would get me out of the house. Something that was portable. So I didn't want a 16 HD. That's a bit too big for me. A 13 HD... it's easier to carry around, and it's got all the functions I need, and I think it's pretty good. Speaking of acting, what kind of references do you use? The thing is, I don't really use video reference, and honestly I should have, because I think with, hold on, let me just turn on the electric fan. I think with video references, it's crucial to understand the movement or things to make it look, you know, kind of believable, realistic. You can understand the way, and honestly, I wish I did that, but I did not. So I missed out on that. I always thumbnail when I do my dialogue. When I reference, this really depends. Sometimes I watch clips just to understand how an actor says a line, just to get that a bit of that inspiration, you know. Okay, so I'm gonna do another breakdown. This time it's dragon going down. Okay. Just want to say thanks for the latest video on the breakdowns. I was struggling with movement until he made that. No, I'm glad people are really liking it, because breakdowns was a huge clicker for me when I was a first year. My first year teacher, Scott Wright, taught us that, and honestly it saved a lot of our asses. If you guys don't know who Scott Wright is, he was an animator at DreamWorks. He actually was mentored by James Baxter, and he's a hard ass. There's a lot of stories I can tell with Scott, but you know what? You guys should look him up. He's great. Honestly, like, he's one of those people where he's not like a Glenn Keane or a James Baxter. He's not that prolific, but I think as a teacher, he's so good at instruction that you just get it. I've had teachers who've worked at Disney who are really talented animators, but they weren't as great as Scott Wright in terms of teaching or how to get information across. It's one thing to be great at animating, but it's another thing to teach it, because teaching is hard. I taught at CDA recently, and I have to say it is a very tiring experience, because every student is different, and you kind of have to understand what each of those students' weaknesses are, what their goals are. So you kind of have to keep changing your switch for that. Not everyone will understand what a breakdown is, or not everyone will understand what timing charts is on the first get-go. You kind of have to sit through them. But that's also up to them if they want to sit through that, Okay, let me scroll down. Anime Studio Animation asks, are you currently working with Tonka House? Actually, I just finished the project that we were on for Tonka House. I'm gonna say it's I can't wait till it comes out. It is by far my favorite project I've worked on. There's so much heart. So Eric O was our director. Above him were Dice Tsutsumi and Robert Kondo. And no, those guys, working at Tonko, it feels like working in a workshop. Like, you don't feel that studio vibe. You just feel like you're making a really nice toy in a really small space. It's really nice. The project that I worked on has a lot of heart. There's a lot of fun moments. I've worked with some really talented animators, and I still know their names. Like, there's Toshi Nakamura, there's Stephanie Messier, if I'm pronouncing that properly, Sam Marin, myself, and I know Eric was also animating a bunch of stuff too. But no, like, everyone's work looks so good, and the story can get really emotional. So, guys, like, once this project comes out, oh my god, like, it is gonna be one of the proudest things I've been a part of. Alright. By the way, Taniko, these characters are for a special story. Very interesting with that character that turns into a dragon. Yeah, it's actually for one of the ideas I've been trying to cook up. I mean, I don't know if I should say anything about it just right now, but the story, yeah, what you see is it's some dude's sister that gets cursed with the body of a dragon. That's all I'm going to say for now. But I've told people about what the story's actually about. I don't think I'm ready to reveal anything about the story just yet. Okay, so I'm going to make more breakdowns. Alright. Oh, thanks for Ava. Okay, next question. I know animation takes a while and it's not instantly gratifying, so what motivates you on these projects? It's tedious. That's a good question, because the reason why I stream is to force myself to animate, and if I talk about what I'm doing, it kind of forces me to work. That's kind of why it's hard for me just to work at home, because working at home, you're not really in that environment where there's busyness, where there's a TV over here. I have a TV. I have a PlayStation 4. I could just do that. I have a couch. I could sleep. That's why I kind of need to be out. And, you know, when I'm streaming with you guys, I'm kind of forced to talk to you guys and talk about my work. Alright. I'm thinking about changing from a 13 HD to a 27 HD. Is it worth it? I guess it really depends on who you are. For me, I like working big. It's better for my back. I have scoliosis, so anything that helps me stand up straight, the way I'm positioned on my desk is, I'm not like hunched over, but with a bigger Cintiq, it's kind of like on a canvas, so I can draw on a slant. You can also do that with a 13 HD, but I find it easier on a 27 HD, but if budget is your concern, 13 HD is still pretty good. And 13 HD is great. You can bring it around anywhere. For me, like, I can't bring this anywhere. Not even for a trip. Like, I'd rather just bring something more portable. So think about yourself. Like, do you travel a lot? What's your budget? Where do you see yourself? Is this something you're going to keep long term? Well, that should be every electronic, right? Alright, next question. Do you have any tips for starting freelance, like getting client work? You know what? That's pretty tricky because I still struggle with finding available freelance stuff. Sometimes it's just timing, but at the same time, you kind of just need to get your work out there too. Like, keep making stuff, even if it's your own stuff. People will notice. Try not to do things that are based on, this is for exposure, you know? Like, we're not going to pay you, so this is for exposure. And I got that a lot, and I turned them down because it's kind of, in a way, disrespectful for anyone who's trying to make a living doing this. So, you know, just keep doing your own stuff. Even your own stuff, like, people will notice it. Alright, Amen Isa. I'm making a Flash game. If I export to PNG sequence from TV Paint to Flash, is this a good idea? I think it can work. It's been a while since I've imported PNGs to Flash. So you might want to try that out. I would do a circular movement to the wings. I probably would too. I'll figure that stuff out once I have the breakdowns done, but that's a pretty good idea to think about. I think you should discuss your breathing in your anime. I'll do that soon. Thanks, Patrick. No, that's a great one. But those were that's another thing I'll get into when I'm actually applying to it. I'll probably do a video on that. But yeah, breathing is great when you're thinking about acting, because I think a lot of animators, especially young ones, tend to forget that you're trying to emulate life. And how can you emulate life if you don't really understand what makes something alive? Heartbeats, breathing, attitude, emotions. These are things that can help sell your acting. But I think breathing, for me, like just having that character breathe and take that moment to think and to just register things, I think that's where the beauty of character animation lies. It's that raw thing that goes before the golden poses, the chain of thought, the crazy nice silhouettes. Yeah, so there's that. Do you storyboard or write first? For me, I'm a visual person, so Suikin asks, do you storyboard or write first? I storyboard first because I'm visual driven. Like, I like to try and give as many story elements as possible through visual aid first, and then if there needs to be dialogue, then I would start just little notes on what dialogue, like little scribbles, three words saying what the dialogue is, and then I'll think about the script later on. But some people like to do the script first, so it really depends on who you are and if writing and dialogue is more of your thing. So again, that's all up to you. Okay, Suicune asks, who's your favorite Disney animator? That's a good one because I'm probably not going to. I'm gonna stray away from the typical Glen Keane, James Baxter. I love Tony Bancroft. Mark Henn. Mark Henn. Yeah, like all the stuff I'll say is like everyone knows who this Disney animator is. Rune Beneke is a great friend. Like, I love Rune. He's my hero. And he used to work on Mulan, Lilo and Stitch. Ted T's a great animator, too. The thing is, I don't really have, like, an all-time favorite 2D animator, because I think a lot of 2D animators have their own special flair. Like, Matt Wilmies, definitely has his own flair. But I think everyone's different, so it's kind of hard to pinpoint who my favorite one is. Because, yeah, like, everyone's going to say, James Baxter, Glen Keane, Milt Kahl, like, okay, yeah, like, everyone. But you know what? We got to give credit to some of the other animators that not many people know. Dale Aubert. Oh my god. See, I'm really bad with names too. Aquino. I know because he shares the same name with one of our presidents from the Philippines. Ruben Aquino. All right. On average, how does it take you to complete a project? Oh shit! Yeah, I didn't see some of the questions. What kind of tests do you think are best to put into an animation reel? Well, one, think about what studio you're getting yourself into. If it's like a feature studio, they want to see a lot of acting and dialogue. Some studios, even small independent ones like, let's say Yada. Yada does a lot of Flash stuff. I'm not really sure what they mostly eye for, but the type of works that I see from the stuff that comes out of Yada is, there's Flash understands simplicity, but can also some can do the Sakuga stuff. Again, there's that Sakuga stuff. So it really depends, but honestly, like, to me, if you can sell a character, that's great, you know? On average, how does it take you to complete a project? If you're asking how long, it really depends on the project. Right now, besides this, I'm actually working on a short film that I've been boarding on my spare time. This short film is something I'm trying to make in hopes for visa stuff. But yeah, I have a short film idea. That's gonna be cool. I like that. I've been fighting so hard to figure out what the story is, and I finally found a story for it. And I pitched it to Denny. I pitched it to a bunch of friends, and they're like, "Yeah, this is way more emotional than that Wolfsong film you made." I don't find Wolfsong emotional, but if someone says that's more emotional and people find Wolfsong emotional, then I think I'm getting somewhere. I don't try and make a film saying this is going to be emotional. I try and make sure the story's good, the characters are good, their struggles, their beliefs, their goals, their wants, their loves, it's all real. The thing about emotional storytelling is no matter what you do, there will be someone who relates to that story. Some people cried at Big Hero 6. I thought it was forced. Some people cried at Inside Out. I thought it was nice. I didn't cry, but I was like, oh yeah, that's some nice crying animation right there. That's so believable. But again, you know, people will find something to relate to. That's what I found out. All right, let's see. Sorry, I kind of got off a tangent. Yeah, no, Tonka House was great. I really loved it. Alright. What's the market like for 2D animation? Is there even work? There is work for 2D animation, but it's very niche. The thing is, there's not a lot of it, so people are very selective on who they want on board. So either you have to be a really, 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 really good 2D animator to get a lot of 2D animation work, or I would say just keep doing 2D, but also have other disciplines like storyboarding or character design, because there's more work on that. Okay. You know, I've actually been trying to convince some of the schools one of the schools I taught at to bring back the 2D animation course, so I might be teaching that in the future. So that'd be nice. Okay. Oh yeah, Sergio Pablos. I mean, Sergio Pablos has been around for a long time, like since Tarzan, since Treasure Planet. Like I mean, I think that's why I applied to CalArts, because of Sergio Pablos. Honestly, like seeing his pencils tests made me want to go into CalArts. So yeah, I think Sergio Pablos was one of the guys who made me more interested in animation. But yeah, I mean, I feel like maybe Sergio Pablos is getting more attention too late. I think he should have gotten it way earlier, because he was doing some pretty kick-ass work just before Despicable Me. Like, he was doing his own stuff with Spa Studios already. Like, some of the stuff that's popping up from Spa Studios, some of them are old. The one with, like, what? I don't know, Giacomo or whatever. That one's been around, and not many people really knew that was around. Yeah, no, power, like, so there you guys have it, like, there we go. So Patrick just said, for Powerhouse, they look for great draftsmanship, action animation, and a wide variety of style. And it is true when you watch the reels of Powerhouse, they're all very different. Okay, I'm going to save this. This is going to pop up a bit. This is going to... What age did you learn how to animate? The thing is, I've always played around with motion graphics when I was in high school. I've sort of animated, but I never really considered studying it seriously until college. These legs are not making sense, but you know what? That's okay for now. This is only the very rough stage. Oh, thanks, Patrick. Yeah, I like sharing information. I like sharing knowledge because, especially for something I'm really passionate about, like 2D animation, because it is a rare skill, and there's a lot of things that not many people know about that I kind of like just to share about, you know? And also, the thing about me is my vocabulary is very simple. Like, I use very a lot, even though it is lazy. I can approach things in a very simple manner. So, Pacheco? Oh my god, no, like, every time I read, like, Japanese names, I try and read them as fast as I can. Hey Patrick, I don't know if Spencer told you this, or if I told you this, but I did a drawing of Spencer, and he kind of looks like... So the drawing I did of Spencer is just him looking like a South Park character, like a South Park Canadian character, and the top of his head is just wide open, and he's just screaming, like, Japanese names. Like, Hitaka Nakamura, Shinya Horiyama, Takeshi Koike, like, just like that. And, I showed it to a friend of his, and that friend of his showed it to him, and apparently he got really pissed because of, I think I showed it to him when he was trying to quit smoking, but whatever. I think once Spa Studios releases Klaus, there will be a boom of 2D animation again. Yes and no, because the thing with Spa Studios is that, and this is what I hear, is that they're not very well paid, but this is only what I heard. I think if you want there to be a boom in 2D animation again, it has to be done by someone very prolific and can actually implement it in a mainstream studio. I mean, honestly, everyone says that about 2D all the time. Like, there's gonna be a boom. There's gonna be a boom. Oh, because of this thing, there's gonna be a boom. But there's so much great 2D animation out there already. And I think by saying, like, this thing will bring 2D animation to a boom. That's what they said about Princess and the Frog. Princess and the Frog will be the boom of 2D animation, but where did that go? There's a lot of projects that will say, yeah, there will be a boom in 2D animation, but I guess it really depends on how it goes too. Because, like, I love Spa, but at the same time, like, I don't know if that'll be the game changer, and there's a lot of great 2D studios out there. And remember, like, 2D is actually very hard to teach and for someone to master. Like, the thing with 2D animation, I talked to Matt Williams about this. The thing with 2D animation is that it requires a lot of willpower and patience. Not many people like that in this generation. And you know what? That's fine. What's cool now is that we have software that we can do 2D animation in, and we can still do all the 2D animation techniques and habits in these programs and make it work in today's world. But it's tough. Okay, I just want to. I'm no longer attending high school. I was just wondering if you had any advice on where to start with 2D animation without any much pressure. Just end. I think just start. Just get right into it if you wanted to go into it. Hey Tanika, was it hard getting into CalArts? I got in during my first try, but I know a lot of people have tried multiple times, so I can't really say if it's hard or not. I think it's really weird getting into CalArts because sometimes there are really good people that don't get in, and there are really bad people that do get in. So sometimes it's really where the faculty stands and how everyone's feeling at that point. And I think I fucked up on this wing a bit. Probably not. Okay, let's move forward. Always fix it later. Okay, alright, I'm just like, okay, one day, can you show us how to composite 2D characters with 3D elements like they did in Iron Giant? Oh, okay, yeah, someday I'll do that. I did that with one of my videos that I put up online, but I'm not using any 3D stuff, but I am using compositing. But I can talk about 3D elements. But yeah, no, it's like Spot Studio is doing some really good stuff. A lot of my friends are working there or working with them right now. I did a test for them, but I think they put their priorities for people willing to move to Spain, and I'm kind of under an O1 visa for the United States, so I don't want to jeopardize that. So that's why I couldn't move forward with them, because I think they kept asking if I was willing to make the move to Spain, but I couldn't at that point. And yeah, I think it's just timing. And also the test I turned in, God, the test I did for them, it turned out really, really bad. Like, I'm so embarrassed by it. Like, I even sent them an email saying, hey, I'm really sorry, this test turned out really shitty. So, yeah, here's what I had time for. So, I gave them that. But I think they got some really good people there now. Way better, I think way more capable than I am, so if they need people that fit the project, hey, I'm all in for that. I also like Joe Johnson, Jeff Loon, I went to school with those guys. Well, Jeff Loon, Colin Howard, not Joe. I think Joe Johnson was before me, but Colin Howard. Actually, Colin Howard was my roommate for my first year. So Colin Howard, yeah, he was my roommate for my first year at CalArts. He was cool. He's still a cool guy. He's still kicking ass. I need to say hi to him. So I'm not really animating as fast as I should be. I guess, like, I try and answer everyone's questions about animation. I wish some American animators would join and make their own late night work club. That would be so ideal, but in all honesty, like, many Americans have lives. They have girlfriends. They have a family to attend to. And you know what? I'm still young. So I'm probably gonna just keep doing this while I can before I get a life. Yeah, Patrick's right. Like 2D is doing good. Just not in feature. Like feature is so unstable when it comes to 2D stuff or animation stuff in general because they keep outsourcing it even for 3D now. It's really dumb. Also, anyone here of Dulzia? They are up and coming. I have not heard of Studio Dulzia, but I'll look them up. Is it a wise choice to have my characters wear a different outfit in each episode? I don't know. I like consistency. That's what I'd say. Fix these wings later. Fuck it. Oh man. Okay. Tanika, what are your thoughts on studios having animators overseas? You know what? I can see why they do it because it is cheaper. It's cheaper, but at the same time, they have to be really careful on the place they're outsourcing to, because sometimes the place they're outsourcing to don't have the skills for it, or sometimes they're living in a country where being an animator is not it's not effective for their lifestyle. Japan is one of them. Like living as an animator in Japan sounds horrible, and I do not approve of that lifestyle. Well, I guess it really depends because I was an outsourced 2D animator, and they did offer me a really low rate. If I was living in the United States and I was being paid that rate, it is way below the wage. But when I was living in the Philippines at that time, and like $2,800 for that whole month is very good in the Philippines. Living standards in the Philippines is so cheap that I was just like, okay, I'm great with that money. But like $2,800 for a minute and 30 seconds of animation, and it has to be done under a month, and you're the only one doing it, I would not do it if I was in the United States, because living here is pretty pricey, and it's cheaper in the Philippines. So if it gives more people, if it starts giving an industry in places where there is no industry, then I think it's a good thing. But at the same time, it's really complicated. There's a lot of sides to this, and I understand both. Okay, I think I missed a few questions. It's so weird. I just keep hearing names that I know. El Michalka and Jasmine Lai. Went to school with them too. I think something along the lines of Feast and Paperman would work in a feature film. It can, if they actually manage to make that technology work for a feature film, because from what I heard, Paperman, like, that workflow only worked for that short and would not work at all for the feature stuff. So, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Okay. So I'm going to break this final pose, and then I'm going to do secondary breakdowns. So, okay, it's looking okay. It's a dragon. It's flapping. It is flapping its wings, but you know what? We're gonna just have to keep going with it. Taniko, you said just start animating, but books like Survival Kit strictly want you to be good at draftsmanship first. Do you recommend doing both at the same time? Yes, I do. I think the more you draw, the better you become at draftsmanship. And I think the only way you become good at draftsmanship is if you force yourself to be good at draftsmanship. I'd say don't sacrifice good acting and good animation and good mechanics. So when you do your animation test, tie it down so it looks solid. The drawings look super solid. The draftsmanship is there. It's all done and ready to go. Always cherish both sides of both draftsmanship and great performance, because again, the more you keep drawing, you're gonna get better at your draftsmanship. But you always, again, like I said earlier, always have like a plan and a purpose. Like, are you trying to get better at draftsmanship and acting? If so, really work on those. Whew. Okay. Is it possible to work in an animation industry? So Julia asks, is it possible to work in an animation if you live too far from the industry? Like sending work via... It is possible, and some studios are okay with it, some studios aren't. I've worked with both in that workflow. I mean, Tonko House actually wanted me to be in-house, but because I had a lease and I was also teaching at CD at that time, I couldn't move there temporarily, so I had to work from LA, and I sent my work through online. But what was good is I always had a Skype session with them almost every day. So it's possible. That's how I got my work done with Studio Le Cachet. But some studios, like Spa Animation Studios, and there was another place that asked for me to move. Oh yeah, so Blizzard. I was about to work with Blizzard, but due to visa stuff, I couldn't take it. But a place like Blizzard also wants their workers in-house. Alas, Powerhouse is 2D only studio. I remember a friend of mine in high school got Madhouse and Powerhouse mixed up. And this is back in 2009, but I think when there was... Madhouse made like a Iron Man teaser that was like really cool back in like 2009, and my friend from high school was like, yo, there's a studio called Powerhouse making this, and I looked it up. I'm like, yo, that's not Powerhouse, that's Madhouse. This is Powerhouse, and I showed them the. I don't know if Patrick, if you remember this, but Powerhouse had like some sort of instructional clip on how animators work at Powerhouse. I showed him that, and he's like, "What? Like, I got them mixed up for this, huh?" I know it can be a bitch having to draw something different every time, but I think like subtle change here and there within episodes. Oh, like costumes. I can't wait until one of us truly brings 2D animated featured films back. What do you guys think it would take? I would say a small team and not many voices. Like, for now, I think it would require a lot of sacrifice because, let's face it, there's life we have to attend to now. I think a lot of people depend on big names to bring back the medium. But in all honesty, you just have to do it. You can't wait for a studio or some place to be the bringer of 2D animation or to make it come back. Like, if you want 2D to come back, just do something already. Honestly, and I'm not gonna like complain or anything, but I just want to get something out. But I am so sick and tired of people saying they want 2D back and they're waiting for it to happen, yet they're not doing anything for themselves about it. Like, they're not doing any projects, they're not doing anything that shows that they really want 2D to come back. And again, they complain about it. And that really pisses me off because, you know, I kind of came with a background where if you wanted to get something, you always had to fight for it. And I think the same goes if you want 2D animation to come back. You kind of have to make more stuff on 2D animation, right? You can't just wait on other people to do it. Alan? Alan, is that you? Oh my god. Alan Parker, guys. Holy shit. Oh my god. It's Alan Parker. What's up, bud? I'm just like reading all the questions. Oh yeah, there are some animators who make ridiculously amounts of money. And that's cool, I guess. I'm also, so someone says, Vincent says, I'm also wondering what people are wanting from 2D animation nowadays. Like, back in the day, I feel like 2D animation had its purpose. Today, I'm unsure. I think animation itself always had this weird-ass struggle, where people wanted to go in one direction, and some people wanted to go in another. I feel like with 2D animation, I think we're exposed to a lot more styles, so there's the Sakuga style, and there's the classical, traditional Disney style, and then there's the Flash style, the symbol-based style. So there's a lot of different styles. Some people say 2D should go more on this, 2D should go more on that. I've talked about it with a lot of people who are really passionate about 2D, and they've all had very different views. honestly, and I talked about this with Jeremy Polgar, and Jeremy Polgar and I, we both kind of agreed, if it's 2D animation, it's 2D animation, guys. Chill out. It's a great medium already. Okay, just save this, and I'm gonna preview what I have so far. So, okay, so you see those other holds? So there are holds. Like some feel a bit more normal. I need to actually have more information between the down flaps because that's missing. But that's going to be easier for me to do now. Okay, so let's give that a shot. Anyways, back to questions. Hey, it's Nico. I used your in-between tut and it was great, but it's hard to apply most times. How do you use it when your keyframes are supposed to be way too fast? Wait, I used your in-between tut, it was great, but it's hard to apply most of the time. How do you use it when, like, if the keyframes read too fast, or like if the chart is too small or whatnot? Yeah, I might need a more I might need more context to that. Alright. Yeah, I think it depends on what your position is for an animator. Like, yeah, 100K, it is crazy high for an animator. But if you're directing, if you're leading something, and you know, if you're producing something, then yeah, I can see how that person can make so much money. And also, like, Glen Keane must be in high demand, so he can always haggle prices. Like, maybe, you know, Warner Brothers might have wanted him, Google might have wanted him, Blizzard might have wanted him. Like, a lot of people want Glen Keane. Everyone want Glen Keane, but Glen Keane want one person. He want the money, so he's gonna, like, he might just haggle price. Like, okay, I'll work with you if you can get me higher than this guy, and then that guy hires offer, gives a higher offer. And then Glen Keane says, okay, I'll make it higher. Do you guys still want me? So, you know, it can be like that. Even having a profile can help you build up that name. So, again, it's really up to Glen Keane at that point. But I can kind of see how negotiation and money have a huge play into this, too. Like, Glen Keane is a very prolific person, no doubt. So, he can handle his way into getting the best negotiation too. Taniko, out of 10, how would you rate Planet Coaster as a sequel to Roller Coaster Tycoon? I would say, you know what? It makes, like, it fixes everything that I hated about Roller Coaster Tycoon. So I'd give it like an 8 to a 9. I would say 8 to a 9 because for some reason the security guards I set in the park always can never do their job properly, so I'll say that. Hand and body language are not small details. They should never... I know. I have that habit of treating them like shit, like in this scene. Okay, I'm gonna break this down. Cool. Yeah, it's like flipping here. I mean, it's so... I flip the way I like doing traditional. So this is an animation disc with animation paper, and the way you flip in traditional medium, when you're in betweening, shit, I need to reposition myself. It's I don't have a rubber band with me, so I'm using my right thumb, and I don't know if you guys can see, but basically the way I'm flipping on digitally is the way I'm flipping. It's the way how I flip on paper, which is like this. So like when I'm in betweening, I can flip between drawings. So that's kind of what I'm doing on the computer. I'm just flipping between drawings really fast. To get a bit more personal, but how did you maintain a schedule with work and gym? Good question. I try and work out, or I try to go work out to the gym maybe like 5 times a week, just to get the cardio up, some basic weights. So yeah, when I do physical stuff, I usually go for at least an hour and a half, an hour to an hour and a half. So I'll do cardio stuff. Maybe I'll run for 2.5 miles for about between 15 to 20 minutes, and then I'll just do some like circuit training. So that's like burpees. So there's burpees, ball slams, like just anything just to get bursts of energy, because I kind of want to have those workouts where your heart's constantly racing, and that's a good way to lose weight. Like if you're constantly just having a rest pace, then a really high intense pace, and then a rest pace. I think running for long periods of times. It's good just to keep that endurance and to keep that cardio, but I think if you want to like get stronger, maybe lose weight, then it's good to implement circuit training in your stuff too. Like I feel like I got stronger doing circuit stuff. But no, like I think, having a physical lifestyle. So if you're doing martial arts, sometimes I roll. If you're doing any like dancing, I think it's good, because the thing is, we're made to run, to swim, to move, not sit in front of a computer for 24/7. So we need to keep doing stuff that keeps our blood pumping. Also, I'm a very intense person, so I kind of need that physical workout to just slow me down. Like sometimes I'll get emotional anxiety, so I'll think about things that don't really exist that give me anxiety. So working out helps me figure that shit out. Taniko, did you study real birds, how they flap? I've animated birds before, so I kind of understand a bit of wings, just a bit, just the basic, like just to make sure it looks like it's flapping. But in all honesty, I'm just placing placeholders, so I might have to change it up. Yeah, like it's so fun hearing how people work out. Oh yeah, Robert. Yeah, go ahead, post your stuff. I probably might not be able to view it, but if everyone else is interested, go right ahead. This is a really casual stream, so I'm not really Yeah, I'm not like some people who are just like, no, don't share other stuff. But I'm all good. Okay, so dragon. Alright, save. So I'm Space. Hey, I'm getting some 2D animation work. Nice. Right on, dude. Hyun's Dojo, is that like that forum that you guys that it's like fluid animation? It's like a forum where a lot of animators strive, right? I remember passing by. There's a lot of people Sakuga enthusiasts there, if I'm not mistaken. Sakuga! I love saying it like that. It's so obnoxious and so ignorant, but it's so funny. Hey, look at my dragon Sakuga. I might go into CTN. I still haven't decided, but yeah, I'm gonna try and do a panel so that I can build that. I can build that Visa credibility. I don't know what I want to talk about something in a panel, but I don't know what yet. There's so many things I want to discuss, but I have nothing yet. But yeah, no, Patrick, I miss Spencer. No, we love to go all. Well, I think he was the one who's just like, hey, Sakuga, look at my Sakugas. Sakuga! You know, I'm glad that some people say Sakuga. It would be it'd be lame if someone says, "Hey, check out this great, fantastic Japanese animation sequence stuff that I really like." I mean, it's easier just to say, "Hey, check out the Sakuga." Sakuga. Oh no! What have you done, Kune? You've asked a question. He's asked a question, guys. He's done it. He's done it. Patrick, lay it on him. But basically, yeah, Sakuga is all the money shots found in Japanese. I don't know if I'm doing it right. That's how I'd summarize it, but it's longer than that. It's basically. I mean, that's what people know Sakuga as, like all the money shots found in anime. In money shots, meaning where the production goes really high on just one shot, and where the animation is just in pristine quality. But isn't it like just Japanese animation? Or Japanese roughs? And, there's Genga for that, but I don't know my Japanese animation terminology at all. Maybe Spencer knows more of that. I would like to chat animation techniques with you. Spencer and I have been talking about formulating a set of events. Oh yeah, no, I'd love to join in on that. I think Spencer, I'd love to pick his brain out too. But I'm glad he's rocking the Sakuga world. Nice. Yeah, I'm so glad your film is nearly done. Just 30 more shots? Right on. Yeah, let me know how it ends up being. But yeah, I just wanted to just go back into the whole Sakuga discussion because a lot of people I know really love Sakuga stuff. Sakuga stuff. Especially some of my students in CDA, like they really register to that. I know a lot of people on Twitter who really want to have their style geared towards Sakuga, and I love Sakuga too. But at the same time, I feel like people who try and replicate it don't really understand the the principles of animation. So sometimes, and this is just me. And I can get a lot of shit for this, but I'm just being honest. Sometimes when I see people attempt to do something that looks really cool without having the fundamentals to back it up, it comes off as really pretentious to me. And I think that's why I get, I don't know, like, I get really nervous when someone says, like, yeah, my stuff is super Sakuga inspired. And then when you look at their stuff, they're lacking basic principles. So that's what kind of irritates me about some people who want to get into the Sakuga style. It's like, if you're going to go into the Sakuga style, understand classical animation style principles first, like get that stuff solid, and then go break the rules, like what you said. Start experimenting with Sakuga or Flash animation. Start doing things that aren't really normal. But other than that, I like Sakuga stuff. Fluid Anims was the first page I joined. Oh my god, so I have a funny story about Fluid Anims. So in case you guys don't know, Fluid Anims is was, well, I don't know if it's still around, but it's a forum where a lot of stick-o-mators, I call them stick-o-mators, but all they do is like fight scenes using Xiao sticks or stick figures in Flash. But what's funny is that me and another friend, I made this fake account called DerpTerp, and we made some really shitty pencil tests, like really bad pencil tests, like on purpose, like really bad. And I did this one where it's like the most generic looking character doing Wing Chun and fighting a guy, and there's no expression on his face. But then all of a sudden the comments were like, "Whoa, you're godlike! This is your first time animating on Flash." Like I said, yes, this is my first. I animated on paper, but here's my first Flash animation, and it's just really shitty, like so bad. Really shitty test that I did, and it was just for shits and giggles. We just want to see how they react. But everyone was like, "You're doing full body animation, whoa, and you're animating in twos. Whoa, you're a master." And apparently, the thing with Fluid Anims is if you could animate full body, you're treated like a god there. Like, people will look up to you. And I just stopped. I was just like, okay, that was funny. It was funny because I showed it to a friend of mine, and we both animate. and we're just laughing at like because the animation I did is really bad, and it was just so funny because of how bad it was. But at the same time, like it was funny because a lot of people were like, "Wow, this is the most amazing thing we've ever seen," but it's just really bad. But it was fun. We just did that once and we're just like, okay, that was funny. That was pretty funny. We just laughed. We were thinking about going it even further by suddenly becoming this ego god who is just like, yeah, I'm the best animator here in this forum. But we were just like, no, there's no time for that. But it was funny. Right, just looking at some of the questions. Do you watch any anime right now? Not the moment. I was gonna try and get into the second season of Berserk because I saw the first season of the new Berserk and it was so bad. Like, it was dreadful. The editing is so bad. Like, I don't care if they use CG models, but I think those CG models lack appeal, and appeal is like understanding, clarity, asymmetry, things like making a drawing or an image look interesting. Every character in that show, they look dead. Everyone always pulls off like the same mouth expression, and there's no variety in eyebrows, and there's no like good eye direction. So I don't care if they use CG because their earlier trailers had a different art direction where the CG looked really cool, and I wouldn't mind watching an anime that had good CG. But the thing I hated was the camera moves in that show. They broke the 180 degrees so many times that I felt so confused. Yeah, it's bullshit. Like, they got the tone all wrong. The tone, like, they think, oh yeah, Berserk, since it's fantasy, since it's got a guy with a giant sword, it's got, we need, like, heavy bass rock and roll music. But if you read the manga of Berserk, it's dark. It's dark fantasy. It's creepy. It's mysterious. That's the tone of Berserk. The 2016 anime does not capture that tone. It doesn't capture that gothicness, that darkness, that feeling of how Berserk is. I think the original anime from the 90s was way better at capturing the tone of Berserk, of the manga, but I think this one really missed the ball. Like, it just feels so generic to me. And to me, that's not Berserk. Berserk is so unique. So, like, I wish I could just read the manga when it's all done. Like, I think I just stopped when they made it to the fairy kingdom. Alright, sorry. I'm gonna keep reading some of these questions. Oh yeah, Yutaka Nakamura totally gets his principle. Like, yeah, he understands his principles a lot. Yeah, like Susumu Hirasawa's score for that show is so well done. Like it gave that show its own unique flavor. Whereas this new anime is just like, I don't know, missing the ball. But yeah, like, there are so many people who say, like, the Berserk anime is bad because it's CG, but in all honesty, there's great CG anime out there. There's great ways to use the CG media, but I think they really missed the ball with Berserk. All right. Yeah, I know. They had a bit of. Oh yeah, Patrick. Yeah, let's dual stream sometime. Yeah, every time. I know. I don't know if any of you guys have watched the new Berserk anime, but they always play that Haiwo track that Susumu did, which is pretty good for one time. But then they use it in like every episode for every time Guts showed up, and you're just like, ugh, this is so bad. Yeah, like I'm very like honestly, like I love it when they experiment with CG. I think CG can be a great tool. Can be a great medium to work with. But it has to be done right. Same with 2D. Like I mean, there's a lot of shitty anime with shitty 2D. Alright. Let's see some questions. How much can you bench? That changes all the time depending on how I feel. Because I tend to work differently, so there'll be times where I'm bench pressing free weights and then with the actual bar. And I change it all the time. So with the bar, there'll be 35 on each side. But then there'll be days where I put 45 on each side. And I'll do supersets sometimes. But I change it all the time, so I'm constantly working different parts of the chest, you know? Or constantly working out those muscles. If you guys are wondering about benching. But I mostly just do push-ups. Push-ups is fine enough with me. I'm sure the stick figure community is still there. Oh, so here's a question. Do you ever animate a camera move, or do it mostly in AE? Sometimes I animate my camera moves. Let me see. Do I have it here? You know what, I'll just like put it somewhere here. But basically I do animate some camera moves. So like this one, this shot here, like if you look at the ground, this is a camera move. Like I animated the ground, and then I also animated the ground here, but I also animated the well, I painted one background for the cliffs, you can see, but the ground I actually did it frame by frame. So yeah, that's it really depends on the shot, but sometimes I'll animate a camera move if I need to, but I'll try and do things where I'll just try and move background stuff, because I save more time by just doing background stuff, you know. Oh yeah, Grant, I do have scoliosis. Ha ha ha. Okay. Okay. Finally I'm back. That's gonna work. Alright, cool. Alright, I'm all caught up. Now I can just get back to it. Ever do 2D stuff for games? No, I tried to be a sprite animator for like a Castlevania fan game one point in my life, but I was so bad. And to the point where I just kept posting work and I kept being like, oh shit. Like this is when I was a kid too. Please let me be a part of the team, and I got to get banned at one point. But those were the good old days. That was funny stuff. Castlevania. Okay. Alright. So. Okay, it's looking okay. I think the proportion does change a bit, and I was trying to make her head go closer to Trace. So, Patrick, what do you think about the new Castlevania? And I don't know anything about it except that one Cartoon Brew post about it. I've not seen anything about it, so I can't really. I don't have anything. I don't know anything about it. As far as there being a Castlevania thing on Netflix, okay. I mean, I love Castlevania. I've played all the games. Except Judgment, but I played, the main ones, the big main ones. Or the big... Well, no, actually I've never played the 64 one, so... One time I tried to dress up as Richter Belmont for Halloween, but I looked really flamboyant. Hopes and Wishes. Hopes and Wishes. That's hard because I don't know if you've noticed, but all the Castlevania games have had a different tone from each other. And my favorite tone in terms of all the Castlevania games is Symphony of the Night. Like the gothic feel, the music, the mood, the atmosphere. That's what I thought Castlevania is to me. Castlevania 4 and that, that to me screams Castlevania, especially with like Ayami Kojima's like art. She has a very beautiful gothic yet very ghostly pure style. I don't know how to describe it, but that's the kind of tone I like Castlevania, but I hope it's good either way. Like, even if it doesn't have that Symphony of the Night tone. Like, if it manages to have its own tone and a good story, I'm okay with it. Oh my god, is that what you're working on, Patrick? Oh shit. Are they gonna get whipped pretty good? Those skeletons? Just love some of these conversations. Wait, so this project you're on, Patrick. So for the for the rib cages, it's not symbols. You have to keep drawing the rib cage in full contour detail. Oh, that sounds nuts. Whew. No wonder you're working today. Head is starting to move away. I know there's a lot of spacing stuff I need to fix. And a lot of proportion issues. Like this neck got thick. So, are both you and Spencer working on this skeleton scene together? You gotta, make that Sakuga really work. Make those Sakuga fanboys go nuts. And have it shared on Sakuga specific pages. Gotta sack that Kuga. Oh my god. There should really be a show, and it's all shonen style, and it's just about Sakuga animators. feel like that show could really work. Now that there's a lot of more contemporary anime nowadays. Right, so I'm nearly done. Animating a bit of the very first pass of this dragonfly. Yutaka Nakamura! This should be like one of those filler episodes where it's just some guy having an inner monologue like, he's animating it all at once. How is this possible? But he's just a kid. He's just a kid. It's impossible. How did he level up so fast? Okay, yeah, that neck is all over the place. But the basic movement is there. It's just he's just gonna flap. The thing is, there's not much going on with the dragon's body because they're actually both being lifted up to the sky. I do think I might have put too much movement on her head. Maybe too much movement. So I think it's okay. I think I can tone down the movement of the head at least, because they're both supposed to be just be floating up. So imagine that thing next to this thing, which he's just rotating. Even though it looks so stupid now that I look at it, next to this thing. So I'm gonna have to tone down the I think it's okay. I think I'll leave it as that. Yeah, we should come up with like an anime story for about animators trying to break into Sakuga, and the show should just be called Sakuga. Okay, so I think this looks pretty decent. Yeah, I think that opening song should have a lot of really bad English. So it's like, hey, hey, let's go, paper, paper, drawing. Like, just stupid things like that. So it just feels authentic, you know? The song should probably be called like "Let's Drawing Love." So okay, You know what? I think I'm gonna call done with this for the roughs. I might tie it down next time because I have to tie down this motherfucker here, who I am not looking forward to. Who I'm not looking forward to tying down because there's so much rotating going on and so much stuff to figure out, like in anatomy and stuff. It's I don't really animate the wings and the tail separately. I mean, this is just a rough initial pass, so it's not perfect. Like, I just do it all in one go, and then if I need to go back to it, like let's say right now I'm making a second pass where I actually flip in between each frame this time, and I try and nail down, okay, this needs to, so I do it straight ahead at this point, but I put a placeholder so I can figure it out later on, you know? And then this tail, oh, see, I notice the volume kind of does some weird shit. Oh no, there are of course there are people in Japan who can speak English. I think it's just like just to have that that authentic of like that English in the opening songs. It would add a charm to it. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave it as that. Whoa, the head is doing some really weird shit. Need to fix that shit. I'm gonna cheat it actually. Yes, the shoulders. I need to push that shit out more. Okay. Whoop. Forgot to fill in some feet. Oh no, I think it's good to do another pass. Actually, I'm going to do another pass of this that has more solid shapes. This is a rough pass. This is more just to get the mechanics and the movement down, but I'm going to do another pass where you can actually see the head. Let me see. I'm trying to think which shot I should show. No, it's not in here. I think I didn't bring it with me. But basically, I usually do the first pass, which looks like this. Actually, wait, no, I do. I think I do have it. I hope this is it. So if I hide all these layers, just turn off the gray. So this is my first pass for this shot. Like, it's very rough. Nothing's set in stone. And then once I have the rough pass figured out, I usually do a second pass where the drawings are more solid, more cleaned up, and the movement is a bit more, you can see the movement there. And then after that, I usually do the cleanup and some coloring. Okay. I think it's good to like. Some people tend to focus on just like one part, like just the body, and then the legs and the head, and then they can figure out the hair, the wings later on. So it's really up to you on how you work. I think bad habits only come around when you're not really thinking about what you're doing. You're kind of just tracing in between the lines, and if you guys can't see, I'm kind of scratching below my pants because I'm thinking. Anyways, so yeah. Do I do commissions? I'm very picky with commissions because at the same time I'm also really busy with like what the profit from it is, what it's gonna benefit me, and how much time do I have for it. I remember someone asked me to do a 2-minute music video for just $2,000, and I'm like, hell no, that's way too low. Okay, so I'm gonna stop the dragon right here because I think it's okay. I think it's all right. Yeah, like I would have said 20 grand. Nowadays I just say, hey, because you're one individual person, here are my rates. $40 a week. I mean, no, not $40 a week. $40 per hour. So that's fair for a full-time freelance at least. Like I usually do it per hour because I think having a fixed price, it kind of scares them too. And with $40 an hour, they're more willing to pay for that, and we can work out a schedule. Then we can set up the totals, and we can already detract days from those hours. Like, okay, we need this done ASAP, so we can sacrifice some quality here. We can remove remove some frames. So yeah. So I think it's important to come up with something that's a bit high and not intimidate everyone with a fixed high price. Like if I told, yeah, pay me 20 grand up close. Yeah, that's like, no, that's what I'm shooting for. But at the same time, like, you have to do it sneakily. You have to do it subtly. You can't just say $20 up straight because they're gonna ask for revisions. There's gonna be change in structure. So I just do it per hour nowadays. Alright, so there you have it. That's my loop. Next time I will just, maybe during my off times, I'll just tidy this down. I've already figured out the coat, the hair movement. So yeah, I think that's it for today, because I've been just animating for these past 2 hours, so. Animating a really rough dragon flap. Okay, so usually I do a very brief, very quick tie-down pass. So tie-down stuff, I'm just gonna do it really quickly for just one drawing. It's just where I'm just figuring out the solid shapes. So now I'm really thinking about the volume, some of the solid shapes. making sure some of the, like, he's missing a pelvis for my roughs. I need to add the pelvis. He needs to have a butt. You know, his legs are a bit big, it should be bigger. Oh, thanks, Patrick. Yeah, I tend to think like I treat everything like a giant flour sack. At least. Nice. No, I love Walt Stanfield. Walt Stanfield's a man. Oh no, tangent. Look at this. Tangent. I have a tangent there. Oh. Every time I make a tangent. Oh, another tangent. Man, my tangent game has been pretty crazy. A cute puppy gets blown off into the sky. Yeah, sometimes I only read like random pages time to time. God, I'm so used to TV Paint. There's a shortcut where you can just like only show the visibility on one layer or the layer that you're working on. Fixes things so much better. Go. Alright, you know what? I think I'm gonna call it a night for now. Gotta make this bigger. Alright, well, thanks so much guys for joining over the stream. It was fun. It was cool. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. We should do more of this once I get everything figured out here. But yeah, this has been cool. I'll show you more progress, and just doing this stuff motivates me to keep working on my own stuff, answering questions, talk to you guys, joking around with you guys about Sakuga is always a fun thing. So yeah, you guys have a good day. It's Saturday. Go out, go out there. And yes, Patrick, yes, let's do a double stream. Let's talk about that. I'll probably hit you up shortly after this on that. So let's do it. Let's do a double stream. That'll be really cool. Alright, peace out, guys. Have fun. Now, don't be a dork like me and go have a good Saturday. Peace out.